Hello everyone. Today we're going to show you how to set up cache refresh in Glue Server. If you already have some user source or some server like LDAP or Active Directory where your user's information is available, you'll most likely want to utilize the cache refresh feature of Glue Server. Basically, by using this feature, you will pull your user's information into your Glue Server. You can either sync your user's password into your Glue Server, or you can keep those secrets in your own data source. It's totally up to you. So now, just to give you a quick background, we have installed the Glue Server Community Edition, or CE, and we have one test LDAP server. We're going to connect our Glue server with that backend LDAP server. There are around 2,000 test users there in our backend LDAP server. And we'll perform a couple of tests with one of our backend directory user whose username or UID is Glue Tester. As a side note, deployer, that means you need to know all required values of your backend directory server and also your Glue server to properly configure your cache refresh. As for example, host IP address including SSL or non-SSL port of your backend directory server, the user which you are going to use as BindDN for this cache refresh, etc. Sometimes you need to know the full tree information or the full DN information of your backend user, which you are going to use as BindDN user. Also, you will need to know the password of that BindDN user, because by using this username and password, or BindDN user and BindDN user's password, you are going to read your backend LDAP or Active Directory. You also need to know the OCs or object classes, detailed information of backend directory service attribute, etc. If this information is not available to you, it will be really hard to set up cache refresh properly. So the bottom line is, a person who is going to configure the cache refresh must have administrative privilege in Glue server, and he or she will at least know various parts of her or his backend directory server. So basically, the cache refresh operation is divided into two sections. The first step is pulling users information from your directory server, and the second step is to manage authentication. This manage authentication is required for those organizations who do not want to store their users password or secret in Glue server. So overall, Glue server, whenever you will use the manage authentication part, Glue server, whenever some user will come to your Glue server for authentication, then Glue server will dynamically check those users' password and other information against your backend AD or Active Directory or LDAP server. That's what the purpose of manage authentication, or second part. So this is the end of first part, and we're going to perform our operation, and the third one, manage authentication, in another two part. See you there.